Hi everyone, this is April. In this video, I'll talk about two Android phones that have been on many people's mouths these days. The Samsung Galaxy S3 GT i9 and the Bond phone, the Sony Xperia T LT30P, also known as the Sony Xperia TL LT30AT on AT&T. These are two cool phones, each one having a certain appeal. Watch the rest of this review to find out which one appeals to you most. If you're looking for a phone that is easy to carry around, you won't have any problem with these phones. They have nearly the same sizes and are pocketable, but the Galaxy S3 is definitely taller. For thickness though, I find the Galaxy S3's slenderness more perceptible than the Xperia T's. These are predominantly plastic phones, yet they are not as fragile as some people would have you think. In fact, the Xperia T looks solid and feels very solid. The Galaxy S3 too is a sturdy phone. The front of each phone is simple and uncluttered. On the Galaxy S3, it's mostly black screen and dark gray bezels with brushed metal design, plus accents provided by the phone speaker grille, Samsung logo, and elongated home button. There are capacitive buttons here on each side. You'll see them only when they light up. The touch panel is surrounded by a bluish-gray plastic frame. The front of the Galaxy S3 has a business-like air to it. On the Xperia T, the front is all black, accented only by the silver Sony and Xperia logos. You see the bezels more clearly if the screen is lit. Instead of capacitive buttons, the Xperia T uses virtual on-screen buttons for navigation. The face of the Bond phone definitely looks simpler and more minimalist than the Galaxy S3's. The glass touch panel is surrounded by a black plastic frame that bevels towards the phone's edges, which gives the phone some sort of three-dimensional feel. The front of the Xperia T has a mysterious air to it. A bluish-gray plastic frame makes up the sides of the Galaxy S3 and holds the power button at the right side, headphone jack at the top, volume rocker at the left, and micro USB port at the bottom. The sides of this phone are simple and uncluttered, and the buttons are very accessible to the fingers. In the case of the Xperia T, the sides of the phone are made of the same material as the back and is one with the phone's back panel. The headphone jack is at the top, micro USB port at the left, and just the phone mic at the bottom. The right side of the phone is the busiest side. You can find here the compartment for microSD and microSIM cards underneath this flap, and down here, the power button, volume rocker, and dedicated shutter button. I'm not quite fond of this position of these buttons because I find them hard to reach when holding the phone in portrait, but they're in perfect locations when holding the phone in landscape. Just as the front of these two phones look lovely, the backs of these phones are lovelier. On the Galaxy S3, you get a dark bluish-gray polycarbonate backplate with the same brushed metal design as the phone's sides and bezels. This is a removable back cover, which I like very much. It's very thin and light, but it seems sturdy. Beside the microSIM slot, there's a slot for a microSD card for up to 64 GB. The battery itself is removable, so I can replace this with a new one if it reaches its lifespan. On the Xperia T is a soft-touch rubber back panel that doesn't attract fingerprints as fast as the Galaxy S3's glossy backplate does. It's a non-removable backplate, but despite that, I like the way that it curves towards the middle. When I hold the phone, I feel that it is resting or leaning securely against my hand. Both phones have amazing high-definition displays, but use different screen technologies. 4.8-inch HD Super AMOLED screen on the Galaxy S3, and 4.5-inch TFT capacitive touchscreen on the Xperia T. Movies, videos, and games are amazing on these two high-definition displays. Especially with the Sony Mobile Bravia engine, the Xperia T tends to produce brighter colors than the Galaxy S3. The Galaxy S3, on the other hand, produces more saturated colors, but I find them more realistic and truer to life than the Xperia T's. These stunning displays make watching HD videos perfect on both phones. Both can play 1080p videos without choking or lagging. Aside from playing videos excellently, the Galaxy S3 has the pop-up play feature that allows you to multitask while watching a video. This feature is not available on the Xperia T. For audio playback, sound level and quality are actually wonderful on both phones. Their stock music players have simple interfaces and leave a lot of room for flexibility in the form of equalizer presets, multiband equalizers, and sound filters and enhancements that make listening to music simply delightful. Two different processors power these phones: a dual-core processor on the Xperia T and a quad-core processor on the Galaxy S3. In general, both phones run smoothly and fluidly, though I noticed some lag on the Xperia T when launching apps and scrolling between home screens. The Samsung phone uses the TouchWiz Nature UX, while the Sony phone uses the Timescape UI. Each of these has a lot to offer to its respective fans. The Galaxy S3's smooth performance can be attributed to both its quad-core processor and to Android 4.1 Jelly Bean's Project Butter. The Xperia T runs only Android 4.0 Ice Cream Sandwich, which in itself isn't a laggy version at all. But why stay with an older version when a newer and better one is already around? Though Sony has promised Android 4.1 Jelly Bean for the phone next year. In terms of storage, the Galaxy S3 simply outweighs the Xperia T. On the Samsung phone, you can get a model with inbuilt storage of up to 64GB plus up to 64GB more of external storage. The Xperia T has only a 16GB model, but thankfully you can add up to 32GB of microSD storage, bringing total storage to 48GB. The Xperia T's 13-megapixel camera with Sony Xperia sensor blows the 8-megapixel shooter on the Galaxy S3. Aside from that, the Xperia T also has a dedicated shutter button that makes photo or video capture truly one click, making the phone double as a very thin digicam. The cameras on both phones can shoot 1080p videos too, but you can also shoot at lower resolutions. Although their cameras differ in megapixel sizes, photo quality of the Galaxy S3 can easily match that of the Xperia T given adequate lighting. The phone's cameras are both fast and snappy too. Though in our testing of the cameras in low light settings, Galaxy S3 photos turned out a bit noisy and dark, yet the Xperia T produced crisp and clear images. The Galaxy S3 bears the standard features of the earlier Jelly Bean camera app, but also includes several great additions from Samsung, such as Burst Shot, Best Photo, Share Shot, Voice-Activated Shutter, and Image Stabilization for videos. Providing power to the Xperia T is an 1850 mAh lithium-ion battery for up to about 7 hours of talk time on 3G. On the Galaxy S3 is a 2100 mAh lithium-ion battery with about 12 hours of talk time on 3G. The Galaxy S3 clearly provides longer battery life, but then again, battery life will always depend on your actual usage habits. In sum, I find that the Galaxy S3 offers more power and better performance than the Xperia T. It runs the penultimate version of Jelly Bean on quad-core power and gives you up to 128GB of storage. It has a responsive camera that snaps great quality photos and videos, although with only 8 megapixels against the Xperia T's 13 megapixels. The HD displays on these two phones are also wonderful, though each one might appeal to different viewing tastes. And though I personally favor the Galaxy S3 over the Xperia T, you shouldn't easily dismiss the Sony phone. Its dedicated shutter button, awesome display, and unique phone design just might tide you over. I've made my choice. What's yours? Leave a comment and let us know. Get more Android news and reviews at AndroidAuthority.com and from our YouTube channel. Thanks again for watching. This is April. Until next time, may the light side of the Android Force be with you.